All right, economy students, Mr. V, and I want to just take some time to explain a couple of key terms for you guys. I won't take too much of your time. Just a couple of minutes of what I want to point out as far as highlights to what you guys need to know, and I'm going to make this available to you guys in a little um, study guide with these key terms because I'll use them for like quizzes and also tests. But we're talking about economics. There's two main studies in economics. There's what's called macroeconomics and there's what's called microeconomics. So macroeconomics is a study of production, employment, prices, and policies at the national level. So you're looking at the federal government and how they implement these different things at a large scale. And microeconomics is the study of economics at the individual level, or a group, or like a company level. So it can be like how a law firm, because law firms a business, how they perform as far as economics and looking at that, or and then also looking at a family's economics. So that would be um, cost of eggs, cost of milk, those small economics at a smaller scale than compared to macroeconomics. So in our class, we're going to look at a little bit of both, but mainly concentrate on macroeconomics. So we will look at both as what's called economics and not macro or micro. And I would encourage you, if you're not going to go into business, get a business degree, and if you're not great at math, when you get to college, choose macroeconomics because it's going to be a little easier on you rather than microeconomics. Macro is just a little bit easier to grasp than microeconomics. It would save you a lot of headache if you just want to get a good grade and move on to the area where you really want to study. Um, anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. When you go to college next year. And another key term I want to mention is opportunity cost. So opportunity cost is very important to economics. Opportunity cost is the idea that anything that you choose, because economics actually is not really about money, it's about choices, it's about the choices we make. And opportunity cost is about the choice that you make between two things. So it is measuring two options, and then choosing one option. But by choosing that one option, you're losing the potential value of an additional option. So you just measured both options and you picked the one that you thought was going to benefit you the most. So, for instance, if you had the choice between playing whatever popular game that's out there right now, and or going on a date with somebody, and you choose playing that video game because you maybe have like some sort of group meet to pass some sort of level. I'm not a gamer. I don't know how that works, but you're supposed to get on and on the headset thing and play whatever game's popular. You choose that over going on a date because you value, not letting your team down on gamer the gamer group, the gamer team down. And so you choose that over that potential date that you had. So you value that over that potential date. But by choosing that, obviously you lose the value of what you could have done by going on that date. So you see that what that choices are. So we're always faced with choices. We make opportunity cost decisions every day of our lives. So, and that's called we make trade-offs too, and trade-offs is another important term in economics, and what that basically means is you're choosing the best allocation of the resources in order to make better decisions. So every country, when they deals with choices they have to make trade-offs, they have to make opportunity costs in what they decide to make, because every country, everybody faces this big issue, and this is another term called scarcity. Scarcity is something that every economy has to confront. And what scarcity basically is that people have unlimited wants, but with limited resources. Let me say that again. So people have unlimited wants, but there's limited resources. There's always a limit on these things, but people always want more. So economies have to come think about is how to best allocate whatever resources they have available to them to make the best decisions on what they're going to make, who they're going to make it for, and how they're going to make that. So those are those key questions. There is when it comes to scarcity and how to produce certain things. Is what are we going to produce? How are we going to produce that, and who are we going to produce that for? Um, and you're going to want to produce something that is going to give you and your country the best, put you in the best uh, uh, area where you are benefiting the most people, and then you can actually have trading with other countries, and that brings me up to the next term, which is called comparative advantage. So every country has what's called a comparative advantage when it comes to producing something over something else. So even though another country may produce this one product, but maybe they're good at making a different product, and they're able to make this other product extremely efficient, so they choose to put their resources in making that product instead of another product. And instead with that other product, what they'll do is they'll trade their good product that they make with another country that makes that other product they don't do so well based on resources, and they trade their good products for other people's best products. So comparative advantage is the idea of not that every country can't make everything, but it's the idea that countries concentrate on making the best thing, whatever they're best at doing. That's what they choose to do, and they trade the abundance of that best thing that they do with other countries' best thing. And you figure that out by what's called comparative advantage. So when comparing opportunity costs that we talked about of two producers, uh, it's about producing at the lower cost of something than anyone else. So you produce, say, robots better than anyone else, so that you have a comparative advantage over somebody else. But maybe somebody else has a comparative advantage of making gaming systems and over somebody else, and that's where you find that comparative advantage, and that's where trade comes into play. Um, Another thing I want you guys to know is what's called incentive. It is deals with profit. Profit is a big factor when it comes to market economies. A market economy is basically what we have is a capitalistic system. So people are motivated by what's called the profit motive or the profit incentive. Now, this profit motive drives people to make things and do well in business because their goal is to make money, right? Nobody does anything not to make money. A lot of you all have part-time jobs. You work to make money. There's that profit. You want to make a profit over those hours that you're putting in. So you're making a profit out of those hours. You're spending those hours. You're making a profit out of those hours. And so there's that profit incentive there. So same thing with businesses. We have a profit incentive, a profit motive for businesses to make new items, to be innovative in order to make a bigger profit. So look at Elon Musk, for instance. Elon Musk is a popular entrepreneur that started Tesla and really is revolutionizing the car industry at this point. He's making these really cool electric cars that go really, really fast, that can also drive themselves, and he's valued at billions and billions of dollars. And he wouldn't have done any of that out of his own goodness of his own heart if it wasn't for the profit incentive. So it's much different from, like, say, another economic system. It's called the command economy. Command economy is communism. So communism, there wouldn't be any profit motive there because the government owns everything. The government owns all the means of production, and they make all the decisions. There's no what's called private ownership, which is what we have in market economy. So there's no entrepreneurs in, say, Russia or China. Have you ever heard of them? No, there's no Steve Jobs in Russia. They're from America. There's no Elon Musks in China or Russia. They're Americans, right? They make their own money. Jeff Bezos from Amazon. There's no Jeff Bezos in China or Russia either. It's that way because of the economic system that they have. The government owns all the ideas. The government does it. So there's no reason for you to try to come up with a new company or try to gain more money because you can't. Everybody gets the same thing. So there's advantages and there's disadvantages to that. A lot of people will say we'll look at that later, but those are a couple of things that I want you guys to know as far as that goes right now. And I think we'll stop right there. That's about 10 minutes. And I'll give you other sheet with some other key terms, and we'll talk more about this later. But really, again, this week we're still trying to get our feet wet in this whole thing. School again, and I don't want to overload you all, and I'm certainly don't want to overload you either. And you know, we're all trying to figure this thing out together. So I think any progress right now is good progress, and we'll get there together. Alright, econ students, you guys have a good night. Bye.